Over 250 years of tradition, discipline, honor, strict regiment, covering the air, land, and the sea. Fastest, hardest force on the planet. The reputation with the progression of technology, fighter jets, whether it be the Harrier jump jet or the F-35, the Marine Corps is on it. Captain Kelsey, is one of the first few females to have ever flown the F-35. Her story starts receiving her commission, going to boot camp, flying the Harrier jets, doing close air support, airstrikes, covering the troops on the ground, to flying the F-35.
In order to become a jet pilot in the Marine Corps, first I had to commission as a Marine officer. Then I went to the basic school in Virginia.
United States Marine Corps Basic School, or TBS, is a 6-month training program in Quantico, Virginia, for newly commissioned officers to develop leadership and warfighting skills. It is the first step after officer candidate school. It includes classroom instruction, tactical field exercises, and amphibious training, with officers selecting a career path in ground, aviation, law, or cyber at the halfway point. Leadership, professional knowledge. Officers are trained to lead Marines and taught the weight of responsibility they carry. They learn tactical and combat skills. Curriculum includes classroom instruction, extensive practical applications such as map reading, combat intelligence, and operating in various environments. Field exercises including multi-day offensive defensive exercises, a 4-day combat exercise, and amphibian operation training.
And then started flight school in Pensacola, Florida. I completed primary flight training in Corpus Christi and then moved to intermediate and advanced jet training in Kingsville. Once I got my wings, I went to Cherry Point for the Fleet Replacement Squadron to learn how to fly the Aviators Harrier, and then finally came to the fleet here in Yuma, Arizona to fly the jump jet.
Marine Flight School is a multi-stage process primarily conducted through the Navy's Training Command. Aspiring Marine pilots must first complete basic school before beginning aviation pre-flight indoctrination at Naval Air Station, Pensacola, Florida, followed by primary flight training in Pensacola or Corpus Christi, Texas. From there, training progresses to intermediate and advanced stages based on platform selection, which can include jets, helicopters, or tilt-rotor aircraft. The aviation pre-flight indoctrination is a 6-week program in Florida covering the academics of aerodynamics, navigation, along with survival training.
I completed primary flight training in Corpus Christi.
The Aviator training program at NAS Corpus Christi is much longer, approximately 18 months, due to increased complexity of today's aircraft. Currently training Air Wing 4 produces approximately 400 new qualified aviators each year via the Maritime Pipeline for shore-based United States Navy and U.S. Marine Corps and U.S. Coast Guard fixed-wing jet and turboprop aircraft, as well as a limited number of NATO-allied coalition military pilots for similar aircrafts. Training Air Wing 4 consists of 4 squadrons. VT-27 and VT-28 handle primarily training in the T-6B Texan II, a single-engine turboprop aircraft. The VT-31 and the VT-35 provide advanced training in the twin engines of the two T-44C Pegasus aircraft, along with the Textron T-54A. In support of the base's training missions are 3 nearby outlying landing fields owned by the Navy.
Once I got my wings, I went to Cherry Point for the Fleet Replacement Squadron to learn how to fly the Aviators Harrier, and then finally came to the fleet here in Yuma, Arizona.
Marine Corps Air Station Yuma is home to the Marine Aviation Weapons and Tactics Squadron. Instructor WTI course, graduate level. Course designed to produce highly skilled instructors by integrating the 6 functions of marine aviation. The MCAS Yuma also supports advanced aerial weaponry training for various squadrons and access to ranges like the Barium Goldwater Complex, Chocolate Mountain Aerial Gunnery Range. The Marine Aviation Weapons and Tactics Squadron 1 is the premier host for advanced aviation training in Yuma. Weapons and Tactic Instructor course is a rigorous graduate level course that certifies instructors to maintain cutting-edge training and readiness across the Marine Corps. It consists of academic learning in a flight phase, which participants integrate all aspects of marine aviation. Graduates return to their units as subject matter experts, ensuring tactical innovations and readiness disseminated throughout the force.
The Aviators Harrier is commonly referred to as the jump jet. It gets that nickname because of its ability to conduct VSTOL flight. So what's VSTOL? Another Marine Corps acronym. It actually stands for Vertical Short Takeoff and Landing. The way the Harrier does this is not only does it fly like a normal jet, straight and level, but it also can hover on a fountain of air underneath the aircraft. The Harrier has these giant characteristic intakes to allow it to take in enough air, even traveling at 0 knots. And if you follow me back, most jets have giant exhausts at the very, very tailpipe of the aircraft. The Harrier is different. Instead of having one single exhaust, we actually have 4. We have cold nozzles and hot nozzles. They all run off of the giant Pegasus engine sitting in the center of the aircraft. And whenever we hover, the pilot manually adjusts a lever in the cockpit, rotates all these nozzles down, and the jet sits on a fountain of its own hot air. As a Harrier pilot, my primary role is actually that of an attack pilot. So rather than doing conventional fighter tactics, our primary missions are deep air support, close air support, and strikes. We fly out, support those Marines that are on the ground, and drop bombs where we need them, when we need them, and on time and on target. So what makes the Harrier lethal? We'll start out with a 25mm rotating Gatling gun. It has 5 barrels and this giant cannon mounted on the bottom of the aircraft. Most jets that have guns are aimed up. The Harrier is different. It's actually aimed down so that we can better shoot an enemy on the ground for its attack role. In addition to the 25mm Gatling gun, we also have 7 external pylons and stations where we can hang all sorts of ordnance. For instance, fuel tanks that we have on the jet right now, or on any of the other stations, we can carry 500 and 1,000-pound bombs, guided bombs, missiles, and rockets. After completion of this deployment, I've actually been selected to attend F-35 training. So coming back from our combat tour, I'll be reporting to South Carolina to start training in the F-35 Lightning.
The Marine Corps uses the F-35B Lightning II for short takeoff and vertical landing operations from expeditionary airfields and amphibious ships. The F-35C Lightning II for the conventional carrier operations. Both variants are 5th-generation stealth fighters with advanced sensors, electronic warfare, and data-sharing capabilities, making them more survivable and capable in modern combat environments. This variant features a vertical lift fan and a pivoting engine nozzle that allows it to operate from short runways and amphibious ships without a full-length flight deck. Its flexibility allows the Marine Corps to project air power from a wider range of locations, including Oster bases and amphibious assault ships. It supports the Marine Air Ground Task Force in roles like anti-air warfare, reconnaissance, and defensive air support. The F-35 weapon system includes both the internal and external weapons, such as the AIM-120 CD, AMRAAM, and AIM-9X Sidewinder missiles for air-to-air combat, GBU-32 J-Atoms, GBU-12 Paveway No. 2 bombs, and GBU-54 Laser J-Atoms for ground attacks. The F-35B variant also uses an external 25mm gun pod for close-range engagements for that air combat support.
To be honest, every Harrier pilot dreams of being able to go on a combat deployment, and this one is going to be in support of the Special Purpose MAGTF, in support of Operation Inherent Resolve. So I'm excited for the flights, excited for the mission, and excited to make a difference. One of the unique differences between being a Marine Corps pilot, vice pilot, and any of the other services is that not only do we have to be fantastic aviators and masters of our platforms, but as Marine officers, we also have to have qualities of leadership, diligence, hard work, dedication, and as officers, we run the squadron and fly the airplanes, which makes it challenging but incredibly rewarding. I've actually been selected to attend F-35 training. So coming back from our combat tour, I'll be reporting to South Carolina to start training in the F-35 Lightning. Being a female Marine Corps aviator is just like being a normal Marine Corps aviator, except you tend to be a little bit shorter, which gives you more room in the cockpit. As far as advice, focus on physical fitness and determination. Definitely work on your confidence, and just honestly, work really hard and chase your dreams.